Meet Yang Yian, your average college senior who thought today was just gonna be a simple date in the park, until fate decided to hand him the ultimate main character backstory starter pack. Because after diving in to rescue a puppy that fell into the water, Bro realizes way too late that he actually can't swim. Desperate for survival, he reaches out and grabs what he thinks is a sturdy vine, only to look up and realize he literally pulled an ancient shiny pot out of the lake instead of a rope. Now sinking straight into the dark depths with a useless antique in hand, Bro accepts that Mother Nature just bamboozled him. As Bro slowly opens his eyes, a blurry figure is shouting at him to wake up. He feels hands pumping on his chest and assumes he literally kicked the bucket. Then he feels soft lips pressing against his, making him think he somehow landed in paradise. He even starts puckering up like a hopeless romantic, expecting a divine angel, only to open his eyes and realize it was the golden retriever sloppily licking his tongue. Bro jumps up in pure trauma, wiping his mouth after getting second-hand dog spit. But then he turns around and sees the dog's owner, Zhao Nan. And yo, she can literally ruin my life and I'd say thank you. Yang Yian immediately grabs her hand to thank her, completely mesmerized. Before he can lock in a second date, a high heel steps in to interrupt the mood. It's his ex-girlfriend Lily, looking madder than a Discord mod after losing admin permissions. She smirks and drops the bomb that she was planning to dump his broke ass today anyway, handing him a literal invitation card to her upcoming wedding with a rich guy. Our boy is completely cooked, frozen in pure shock as his heart gets obliterated. Zhao Nan tries to speak up and clear the air, but after the gold digger leaves, she hands Yian a sleek business card to apologize. She tells him there's no shame in being broke as long as he keeps hustling, then heads off, leaving Yian standing alone in the park, questioning every single life choice that led to this moment. Furious over getting humiliated, Yang Yian grips the wedding invite so hard his knuckles turn white, when suddenly, a mysterious voice booms out of thin air telling him to stop crying over a woman. Right as he looks up, a massive glowing ghostly head floats directly in front of his face. The floating spirit introduces himself as Yunchen Zai, an ancient deity straight out of the cultivation world. He tells Yian to check his forearm if he thinks this is Cap, and sure enough, the ancient universe pot he found earlier has turned into a glowing tattoo on his skin. Realizing this floating old head is actually legit, Yian instantly begs the Grandmaster to teach him cultivation so he can get strong. But Yunchen Zai immediately roasts him, calling him weak for getting broken-hearted over a basic gold digger, leaving Yian gritting his teeth in absolute silence, unable to say a single word back. Yian slams his fist into the pavement, swearing that he will make his ex pay for every bit of humiliation. Seeing that dark fire in his eyes, Yunchen Zai actually smiles with approval, immediately blasting a stream of divine energy straight into Yian's forehead. Bro starts screaming as centuries of supreme martial knowledge flood his skull, upgrading all his senses and instantly unlocking his hidden potential. The ancient deity warns him not to slack off now that he holds the universe pot, and Yian vows he is gonna crash that wedding and ruin everyone's day. But right in the middle of his main character speech, his phone starts blowing up with someone screaming at him, forcing him to apologize like an underpaid NPC and sprint off, leaving the Supreme Grandmaster completely flabbergasted that his new disciple just ditched him for a phone call. While the ancient spirit is left screaming into the void, Yian gets utterly blasted by his manager for being late to work. He bows his head like a model employee until he notices the school beauty Liu Lingling stumbling around totally wasted. Yang Yian is stuck in a massive dilemma, watching her get dragged away. His annoying manager is screaming in his ear to ignore it and get back to work, warning him that stepping in right now will get him fired on the spot. Suddenly, memories of his toxic ex-girlfriend, Lily mocking him flash through his mind, and that disrespect snaps something inside him, making him lock in completely. Meanwhile, inside VIP room 69, a gang of greasy creeps surround Lingling on the couch, getting ready to move in while she's totally defenseless. Before these random clowns can even lay a finger on her, Yian literally breaches the door like the SWAT team and folds the main thug instantly. Yian stomps the first dude straight into the floor, realizing that ancient pot actually turned him into a full-blown superhuman. When the next thug tries to swing on him, Yian dodges with cheat code speed, and when a full kick hits his arm, he doesn't even feel it. With his stats maxed out, he starts throwing hands and sending dudes airborne. He literally hammers this pink-haired clown's face through the floorboards. The last thug smashes a beer bottle and starts yapping about his mafia boss, flexing that arrogant chud face like he's actually him. Cut to 1 second later, and bro is crying on his knees with 5 massive cartoon lumps on his head. Yeon ties the whole squad up like a bundle of trash, before finally turning around to check on Lingling, who is completely passed out on the couch. Bro drags Lingling back to his place, and she is laid out on the bed looking like absolute fine dining. Yeon stands there sweating bullets like a total virgin who has only held hands once in his entire life. Out of nowhere, the old deity Yunshin Zai randomly spawns right beside his ear, scaring the absolute living daylights out of him. He takes one look at her massive assets. Yeon frantically asks if there's any martial arts cure to detoxify all that liquor in her system. The master tells him to use the secret hands of 13 Meridians technique before sliding straight back into the universe pot to take a nap. Accessing the ancient knowledge inside his brain, Yeon unlocks the exact secret technique and hits her pressure points, instantly purging the alcohol steam straight out of her body. Meanwhile, in the adjacent room, some random goofy guy is trying to flex his 3 seconds of stamina to his girl, only to hear Lingling's loud moan echoing through the thin walls and instantly folding his ego. The girl next door listens through the thin wall in complete shock, while the insane misunderstanding echoes across the entire complex all night. Her poor boyfriend gets slapped around for having 0 stamina, until morning comes and Liu Lingling finally wakes up. Bro, the artist definitely took a 20-minute break drawing this frame. So our story continues with a high-voltage scream, as Yang Yeon desperately tries to defend his innocence. Bro saved the campus beauty Liu Lingling from a bunch of creeps, but she instantly accuses him of being a massive pervert. Yeon reminds her that she was completely wasted last night, but she demands to know why she woke up without any clothes on. Realizing he actually acted like a total gentleman, she hits him with a soft apology, only to immediately suspect he didn't smash because he's secretly playing for the other team. She literally starts calling him her new gay best friend, driving Yeon absolutely insane. Yo, looking at her in those thigh highs, I am down atrocious right now, bro. Yeon explains he used ancient acupuncture to instantly cure her hangover, flexing his hidden medical god skills. As she heads off to class, he finally gets a second to breathe. Suddenly, an arrogant dude steps out of the shadows to block Yeon's path, flexing his budget abs and yapping about how Yeon should stay away from Liu Lingling. Bro really throws a full punch like he's the main character, so Yeon casually folds him with one counterstrike that sends the clown flying clear across campus into a tree. Yeon looks at his hands, low-key stressing because he forgot to hold back his new strength. Fast forward to lunch, Yeon is standing around waiting for Lingling, and when she pulls up with 2 unreal top-tier baddies, Lingling casually mentions that she booked a private dining room for all of them. She introduces her shy purple-haired best friend, leaving Yeon completely speechless. Next up is Lin Hyun, and bro, the artist pulled out all the stops for this outfit. Yeon immediately locks eyes on her, right before Lingling excuses herself to order food. Left completely alone, Yeon leans in with 0 personal space, and pins Lin Hyun straight onto the couch. Lingling walks back in at this exact moment, and sees Yeon leaning over her while she groans under him. Her brain goes into immediate full meltdown. She launches forward and falcon punches Yeon straight in the jaw. Yeon clutches his face, screaming that he was literally just giving her a medical massage. Lin Hyun blushes, confirming his massage actually relieved her hidden pulse illness. Even after Lin Hyun admits the acupressure massage actually worked, embarrassed Lingling violently kicks Yeon straight out the door. He walks down the hall, muttering about how nobody respects medical decency. Suddenly, Yeon stops in his tracks as a massive shadow falls over him. A crew of towering thugs blocks his path, ready to crack some skulls. Yeon just sighs in pure disappointment, realizing these goons genuinely have 0 life outside of harassing him. Meanwhile, the campus beauty Liu Lingling watches from the sidelines, while Ningwu steps up flexing like he's the final boss, ordering Yeon to stay away from her or get clapped. Lingling's entire face turns bright red as she realizes these absolute dorks are literally fighting over her. So Yeon instantly shrugs, says no problem, and turns to walk away without giving a single damn. The thug's entire brain short-circuits because he definitely did not prepare a backup script for Yeon casually walking off. Seeing this whole mess unfold has Lingling's heart doing backflips, completely misinterpreting Yian's blunt words as a dramatic public confession. Realizing he just got utterly played and humiliated in front of everyone, Ningwu completely loses his sanity and screams for his crew to attack. And just like that, the goons rush forward at full speed ready to get their faces thoroughly rearranged. The goons charge in blindly, but Yian effortlessly catches all three midair and twists them into pretzels before they even touch the floor. Ningwu realizes this kid is legit, lunging forward with his ultimate flying kick, only to get instantly flattened directly onto the pavement. The entire spectator crowd stands completely jaw-dropped at the absolute beatdown, while Lingling blushes heavily, completely entranced by how cool he looked handling business. Later that evening back at home, Yian meditates to refine his newfound spiritual energy, scouting ancient pill recipes inside the universe pot that could revolutionize the modern market. Suddenly, a tense phone call snaps him right back out of his cultivation. Yian sprints across the city toward the commercial tower and steps into the lobby just as a tense scene unfolds. His childhood friend Liu Ziki, currently working security, is bowing and trying to apologize. Some angry suit-wearing NPC is aggressively screaming in his face, demanding 200,000 yuan, while a flashy rich snob acts like he's generous for having the price. Liu Ziki stands there completely frozen under the unfair pressure, until Yian steps right into the middle of the lobby to back up his homie. Zhao stepped into the lobby radiating pure main character aura, looking like an absolute divine goddess. Yian takes one look at the shattered porcelain on the floor and immediately calls absolute cap on that insane price tag. Zhao glances over feeling a familiar presence, but assumes she misidentified him and heads to her meeting. The arrogant suit starts yapping like a guard dog, warning Yian not to cross his wealthy master, while Liu Ziki grabs Yian's shoulder, terrified that his friend will end up ruined by this obvious setup. Yian gets right down on the floor to inspect the shattered shards himself, identifying it as a tributary blue and white porcelain piece. Thanks to his marrow cleansing, Yian's 5 senses are dialed up to 11 as he inspects the broken piece. He immediately catches the sharp stench of cheap chemicals used to fake its ancient age. So before these clowns can keep yapping, Yian delivers a lightning-fast slap straight across the guy's face. The arrogant chud collapses to the floor, squealing about how Yian doesn't know who he's dealing with. But Yian isn't hearing it, warning them that if they keep harassing his buddy, he'll personally beat them to a pulp. He boldly proclaims to everyone present that this entire expensive antique is nothing but a cheap counterfeit. The scammer panics, loudly demanding proof before Yian goes around slandering his business. Pointing them down, Yian flexes his history major brain and challenges them to call the cops right now. Terrified of getting exposed, the scammers quickly try to slink away with some pathetic parting threats. But Liu Ziki cracks his knuckles with a menacing smile, refusing to let these scammers walk away after trying to frame him. After dealing with those scammers, Liu Ziki treats Yian to street food and drinks to thank him. Yian wonders how a former elite military man ended up struggling like this. Ziki sighs, admitting that climbing the social ladder without background is brutal. Taking a drink, Yian casually cooks up a wild plan. He proposes they team up to build a massive business empire. Ziki instantly spits out his drink in disbelief. Wiping his face, he asks if Yian is actually being serious. Yian reveals he possesses an ancient beauty formula that will revolutionize the entire industry. Noticing his absolute confidence, Ziki starts getting convinced. Right then, teacher Aoyang Yuking calls Yian, demanding his medical massage skills again. Yian tries to decline since he is drinking with his bro, but she threatens to spread wild rumors about him if he refuses to treat Lin Huan. Folded by the blackmail, Yian agrees to guide Lin Huan through the massage steps over the phone. Bro, the noises coming out of that phone are wild enough to ruin a man's reputation forever. Liu Ziki looks at him with deep concern, forcing Yian to scream into the night sky that he is strictly into women. The next day, Yian travels to Yanshan Mountain to gather ingredients for his youth retention pills. His ancient recipe requires a specific herb called plantago. Luckily, he runs into a local old herbalist along the trail. Yian asks him where he can find the traditional middle car grass. The old guy picks his nose in total confusion, asking if Yian is out here trying to clap an actual vehicle. Yian completely loses his mind and yells the proper name. Scared straight, the old man quickly rattles off the exact directions to the herb. Yian heads off while the old man mutters about weird modern youth kinks. After hiking through the mountains for hours without finding a single herb, Yian starts praying that nose-picking old man didn't completely scam him. But right as he tries to catch his breath, a sudden noise rustles in the thick bushes nearby. Out of nowhere, a massive purple serpent bursts into the open, fiercely chasing a tiny yellow creature that literally squeaks Pika. Yian stands there completely paralyzed, wondering if he somehow stumbled into a bootleg Pokémon battle right in front of his eyes. Yian barely ducks in time as a massive purple tail sweeps right over his head, but the python doesn't even care about him. It turns out that tiny yellow creature is surprisingly agile, leaping through the air while squeaking like a knockoff Pikachu. Unfortunately, after a few dodges, the poor little guy gets completely cornered. Yian hesitates at first, telling himself not to mess with nature, until the creature looks at him with puppy dog eyes and instantly folds him. Right as the snake lunges down for a quick snack, Yian dashes in like a blur and snatches the little guy to safety. Before the serpent can process what happened, Yian lands a flying kick straight to its neck, and when it tries whipping back with its tail, he catches the blow barehanded like it's absolute light work. Yang Yian grabs the massive serpent by its tail and realizes this giant beast is completely outmatched. With one brutal motion, he slams the oversized lizard headfirst into the dirt. The impact rattles the entire mountain, leaving the python knocked out cold while the little yellow creature chirps in awe. The little critter signals for Yian to follow, acting as a furry guide through the dense woods. He stumbles upon a massive field filled with valuable plantago and spots an intense glow shining right at the cliff top. Climbing up, he finds an ancient ripe ginseng alongside a glowing spiritual frost flower. Yunchen Zai speaks up from the universe pot, urging Yian to absorb the rare treasure to restore his soul. Yian reaches out to touch the star spiritual grass, harvesting every single rare herb with complete ease. With his pockets full, he leaps straight down the cliffside to approach the smart little spirit mink. He tries putting on a scary creep face to convince it to come along, which immediately pisses off the little creature into absolute rage mode. So Yian pulls out the ultimate bribe, a single lollipop, instantly taming the fluffy buddy into his new sidekick. Back in his kitchen, he tries concocting youth elixirs on an induction cooker, realizing real alchemy probably needs a legit furnace instead of a soup pot. Just as his kitchen setup starts smoking, a loud knock hits his front door. And opening it up, school beauty Liu Lingling appears looking so fine my jaw hit the floor and bounced off the ceiling. Yian greets her looking super confused, asking what she even wants, but Lingling immediately roasts him for keeping a fine girl waiting at his door like an absolute NPC. Before she can keep going though, she instantly covers her nose from a foul stench, asking if he's literally cooking straight hot garbage as smoke pours out of his kitchen. Yian panics and rushes back inside to slap the off button on his induction stove, only to find perfectly formed, glowing golden pills sitting right at the bottom of the pot. Yian inspects the glowing golden pill in his hand and literally drops to his knees, praising the heavens for his alchemy success. Liu Lingling stares at him like he belongs in an asylum for crying over a tiny ball, demanding real help since his family practices traditional Chinese medicine. She points out a single tiny pimple on her cheek that's ruining her day, and Yian's eyes instantly light up as he realizes he found his perfect test subject. Bro hits her with that devious goblin grin, claiming his freshly baked beautification pill can fix her right up. He creeps up on her like a straight villain forcing a trial dose, but Lingling gets super flustered and asks him to feed it to her himself. Yo, look at her blushing face right now. Bro, who gave her permission to look like that? Without hesitating, Yian pops the golden pill straight into her mouth. As soon as the pill dissolves, a warm sensation spreads straight through her body, making Yian tell her to stop overreacting over a single pill. But looking closer, her acne is instantly wiped out, and checking the mirror leaves her completely speechless. In pure excitement, she pulls him in and plants a kiss right on his cheek. Bro gets so flustered his soul almost leaves his body, while she teases him for being such an innocent guy. Trying to sound tough, Yian claims he is about to get payback, so she leans back and hits him with a bold double dare. He immediately wall pins her without hesitation, sending her heart into full panic mode as she closes her eyes, ready to surrender her first kiss. But instead of going in for the kiss, my boy just casually hands over the rest of her skin medicine. She snatches the bottle and immediately starts talking trash, so he throws up a whole goblin pose to send her packing. She flees out the room claiming he must not even like girls, only to collapse against the door with her heart hammering out of her chest. Once she leaves, Yeon locks in and studies his ancient martial arts manual, focusing entirely on mastering elementary offensive and defensive techniques. After grinding out several days of non-stop cultivation, his phone buzzes violently in his pocket. It is a text from Lingling inviting him over for a private family dinner with her rich dad, and Yeon smiles knowing his next major move is about to begin. A luxury car speeds down the highway, where the driver is completely blown away that the genius behind the new youth retention pill is just a young guy. Yang Yeon plays it humble, claiming he just tweaked an old family recipe passed down from his granddaddy. But as he looks out the window, he realizes the Liu family is way richer than he ever imagined. Stepping out in front of a giant mansion, he barely has time to take in the ridiculous flex, because suddenly, Liu Lingling comes gliding down looking absolutely unreal in a form-fitting dress. She runs right up to him, instantly wrapping her arms around his neck. Bro, she is clinging to his arm like her life depends on it, until Yeon notices a goofy-looking suitor in the background, radiating pure hatred. He immediately calls her out, asking if she is just using him as a human shield. Lingling whispers that this arrogant clown showed up uninvited to ruin her day, and right on cue, the angry weakling marches up yelling that a brokey like Yeon isn't worthy. But Lingling fires back instantly, declaring Yeon is her actual boyfriend. Yeon pulls Lingling tight into a dramatic embrace, which completely sets off the angry suitor into throwing a full-force punch. Lingling warns him that this guy actually comes from a legit martial arts school, but thanks to Yeon's cultivation, the attack looks like it's moving in slow motion. The arrogant clown keeps yapping about beating him like a wild bear, so Yeon shuts his mouth real quick with a fast throat strike. Lingling can't even believe how fast he folded him, while the clown points his finger crying that nobody has ever hit him before. Before things escalate further, Lingling's father, Liu Shanhai, steps out to interrupt. Everyone immediately turns around to greet the head of the house. Yeon glances up and realizes the old man was secretly testing him from the balcony. Liu Shanhai smoothly brushes off the drama and invites all the guests inside for dinner. And just like that, they all sit down together at a massive banquet table. At the dinner table, Uncle Liu treats Yeon like family, thanking him for helping his daughter. He brings up the youth retention pill and suggests putting it on the market, which immediately triggers this arrogant clown nearby. Bro starts running his mouth, exposing Yeon's poor family background and saying he does not deserve to sit with them. Uncle Liu snaps and slams the table in rage. He drops the ultimate truth bomb, revealing Yeon created the exact pill himself, leaving the loudmouth completely cooked while Yeon smirks in pure satisfaction. And while Yeon smirks in pure satisfaction, this white-haired clown Hu Yao refuses to accept reality, claiming he still has a childhood betrothal with Lingling. Except her dad wants absolutely no part in this drama, while Zhao Nan straight up roasts him for having zero accomplishments. That completely sets the guy off, making him pull out the most obnoxious villain smirk imaginable. Naturally, the ladies look at him like he is a total weirdo. Before he can yap any further, Yeon slams the table and tells him to beat it, instantly turning this arrogant fraud into a sniveling side character, who runs away while squealing pathetic NPC excuses. Seeing how Yeon handled that trash, Uncle Liu is wildly impressed, so they get right down to business, offering Yeon a massive 70% profit split. And just like that, Yeon seals the deal without sweating a single drop. Uncle Liu slides over the official business contracts, and Yeon signs them without hesitation. To sweeten the deal, Uncle Liu hands over a free house deed in the city. Yeon holds the papers, ready to start his official comeback. He then meets up with Liu Ziki at company headquarters, hyping up their future business empire. Ziki confirms the beauty pill is already a massive hit, and Yeon smirks, knowing this is just the beginning. Suddenly, Lingling calls to flame him for forgetting their car shopping date. He arrives to find Lingling and Zhao Nan looking insanely fine. Yeon awkwardly blames traffic to avoid getting cooked. Lingling immediately hands him off to a sales rep to pick his new ride. Yeon plans to pick a modest ride around 800 grand, but Lingling shuts that down and demands a $2 million flex. Bro almost has a heart attack right on the spot. Lingling straight up offers to pay the difference herself, reminding him he needs a ride matching his new status. leaving Yian completely stunned by rich girl logic. Suddenly, his gold-digging ex Lily spawns out of nowhere. Yian tells her straight up he is buying a car, which makes Lily start cackling like he made a joke. Right before her brand new sugar daddy waddles into frame, Lily immediately snitches to her old man about her poor ex, and this goofy guy hands over a wedding invite to flex. This arrogant old dude starts flexing his money, while Lily giggles like his personal cheerleader. So Yian scans his body and straight up exposes his severe impotence, leaving both of these clowns completely frozen in utter shock. Zai Ding tries to yell back through sheer embarrassment, but Yian casually waves goodbye, promising to crash their wedding. And after promising to crash their wedding, Yian starts off the next morning flexing his newly acquired wealth, admiring the high-end sports car he just secured at the dealership. Having a dope ride is great, but he still needs a fine date to crash his ex's wedding. Right on cue, campus beauty Liu Lingling gives him a call, telling him to pull up to her house without delay. When Yian stammers that he's busy plotting revenge against his ex, Lingling gets furious that he's even bringing up that gold digger. She orders him to get his butt over immediately and hangs up like an absolute boss. Moments later, Yian speeds over to her massive villa. And bro, I am literally on my knees right now. She steps out wearing a jaw-dropping high-slit red dress that should honestly be illegal, leaving Yian blushing so hard his whole brain completely short-circuits. And the second she hops into his sports car, she leans in way too close and tests his survival limits. Liu Lingling offers to play his fake girlfriend to return the favor, and Yian flusteredly accepts. Meanwhile, Lily and her goofy fiancé wait outside the banquet venue. Suddenly, Yian's sleek $2 million supercar pulls right up. Lily tells her fiancé that ride is far too expensive for their manager. That is, until Liu Lingling steps out looking divine. Yo, I just threw my entire life savings at the screen. Zero hesitation. Lily's goofy fiancé instantly starts simping and trying to greet her. Lily immediately twists his ear, raging hard at him. Lingling turns around and calls Yian out of the ride. Yian steps out suited up, linking arms with her like a boss. Lily's jaw hits the ground seeing her ex looking like a billionaire. Her fiancé panics, asking why she lied about him being broke. Yian just smirks, knowing the real embarrassment is just starting. Lingling openly roasts Yian's ex, while Lily and her chubby fiancé raise a glass to mock single guys. Yian sips his wine and warns the clown not to offend the women beside him. The arrogant guy just laughs it off and drops disrespectful trash talk. Suddenly, Zhang Jingquan, the company's deputy manager, enters with his security detail. The fat clown instantly freezes up the moment he realizes his big boss just walked in, and he immediately tries kissing his big boss's ass. But Vice President Zhang completely ignores him and locks eyes on the table. Without hesitating for a second, the big boss bows down and grabs Lingling's hand like she's royalty. Bro, look at the fat clown and his gold digger ex. Their eyes are literally popping out of their sockets. Zhang humbly introduces himself, explaining he knows her powerful father from the Chamber of Commerce. And when he asks about the guy next to her, Lingling proudly introduces Yian as her boyfriend. Zhang's jaw drops as he connects the dots, realizing this young goat is the genius who created the legendary youth pill. Yian wonders how his secret recipe leaked, so Lingling leans in extra close to whisper that high society is already buzzing about his godly talent. The surrounding crowd instantly realizes the fat clown is completely cooked for messing with the wrong power couple. Look at his face. Bro is sweating so hard his glasses are about to melt off. Zhang speaks to Yian with absolute respect, asking if he's attending the wedding, before suddenly turning around and roaring at the fat clown to drag his worthless body over and apologize. Man is staring into the void, realizing his career and soul just got permanently clapped. Instead of apologizing, this goofy manager loses his mind and yells that Yian is just a broke bar worker. Bro charges forward, screaming that he'll expose him. Yian instantly folds him with a swift slap, sending this clown tumbling onto the floor. He stands over him, reminding this NPC they live in completely different worlds. Suddenly, a blonde martial artist named Ziosin steps up, smirking like he's the final boss. He arrogantly flexes, promising to handle Yian personally. The manager desperately begs him to destroy Yian on the spot. Ziosin lunges with full speed, only to instantly get launched through the air like a complete joke. Ziosin barely manages to catch his balance on the floor, staring up in total disbelief at Yeon's ridiculous power. Bro tries to save face by popping his knuckles and bragging about being an ancient warrior, leaving Yeon genuinely confused about what that even means. Yeon steps up and says he has a quick question, but this goofy clown immediately assumes Yeon is begging for mercy. Instead, Yeon just scratches his head and asks what an ancient warrior is, causing this man's brain to completely short-circuit in shock. And seeing how clueless Yeon is, Zayasen sighs and decides to give him a free history lesson, explaining how ancient martial artists pass down secret techniques through generations, ranking their internal power from the first to the 9th layer of light energy. He proudly boasts that he's already reached the 3rd layer, giving Yeon one final chance to beg for mercy. Yeon just stands there wondering how his 1st layer of Kai refining compares to this guy's ranks. Annoyed by Yeon's blank expression, Zayasen decides to stop yapping and fight, launching a lightning-fast kick straight at Yeon's head. Yeon manages to dodge backward, but Zayasen relentlessly presses the attack, surprising Yeon with his incredible speed and kicking technique. Before Yeon can properly defend, Zayasen connects with a heavy blow that sends him flying back. Zayasen talks big like he actually accomplished something, but Yeon stands there totally fine, calling his attack pathetic. Bro immediately loses his composure and demands to know who trained him. Yeon doesn't waste time yapping and delivers a brutal roundhouse kick, blasting Zayasen through the floor like a rag doll. The entire room of corporate suits is completely traumatized. Yeon casually flexes his aura through the dust cloud, standing tall while the background fodder panics and flees. Liu Lingling rushes over to check if he's hurt, while this corrupt executive has a total meltdown in disbelief. Yeon warns the scumbags that he's done showing mercy, and grabs Liu Lingling's hand to exit like a boss. Back at the ruin venue, Lily starts panicking because her golden ticket just vaporized. Her rich old husband responds by dropping a nuclear hand slap right across her jaw. Meanwhile, Yeon leaves all that pathetic drama behind for a scenic mountain drive. And bro, Liu Lingling stepped out in this red dress. I literally had to go grab a bottle of lotion before I could even finish scripting this beat. She notices Yeon looking quiet and asks why his mood seems so gloomy. Yeon takes a deep breath and admits he only came here to bury his past with his ex once and for all. Now his only path is to keep getting stronger so he can protect everyone he cares about. Lingling admires how much he's matured since he started cultivating. She reminds him that his youth pills are already bringing in massive business connections. Yeon vows that no matter how rich or powerful he becomes, he will always stay humble, and Lingling just smiles warmly, enjoying the peaceful sunset right beside him. Yeon smiles with complete confidence, leaving Lingling totally stunned by his insane growth. He looks out into the sunset, while she blushes super hard, completely down bad for him. And right when things are heating up, nature decides to drop a whole thunderstorm out of nowhere. So they start sprinting toward the car to escape the pouring rain, but Lingling loses her footing in high heels and starts tumbling down. Luckily, Yeon swoops in like a main character and catches her mid-fall, leading to an insanely tight embrace, where she whispers that her ankle is totally sprained. Without hesitation, he picks her up in a full princess carry, while her heart goes into overdrive staring at his face. Once inside the car, she conveniently mentions a nearby villa hotel where they can dry off, giggling to herself because bro is completely clueless that this sprained ankle was 100% calculated. They pull up to the private villa out in the storm, where she ends up lying back, biting her finger and asking him to be gentle. Yeon decides he needs to handle her injury right away, before anything else gets out of hand. Bro channels his Kai directly into her foot to cure the sprain. After 2 seconds, he wipes his forehead and announces that her ankle is completely healed. Lingling sits there flabbergasted, questioning every decision that led her here. Before she can ask for a full body massage, a violent crash echoes outside. Yeon looks out the window and tells her he needs to investigate the car wreck. She can only sigh as her entire romantic setup goes up in smoke. Outside the hotel, a luxury car is wrapped around a pillar while a panicking mom screams for an ambulance. Yeon rushes over to see if anyone needs emergency help. He activates his Kai vision to scan directly through the mangled vehicle. The driver inside is completely pinned with multiple bone fractures and severe internal bleeding. Realizing the guy will bleed out before medics arrive, Yeon steps up to offer immediate treatment. Except the arrogant father immediately snaps at him, treating Yian like a total nuisance. The arrogant father tries to yell Yian off, but his wife immediately steps in and begs him to back off so their son doesn't die. Yian doesn't even waste a single second arguing, slapping the dude's hand away to reach right into the mangled wreckage. Channeling his divine true Kai straight through 13 vital meridians, he instantly forces the severe internal bleeding and chest congestion to clear up. With one final surge of spiritual energy, the dying kid breathes out a massive lungful of trapped blood and stabilizes. Having saved the kid's life before the ambulance even arrives, Yian steps back out into the pouring rain. The father quickly shifts gears, bowing his head and apologizing for his earlier rudeness. But right as he gives his thanks, Yian senses a terrifying spike of hidden martial intent rolling off the man. As lightning splits the night sky, Yian realizes this supposed helpless civilian father is actually a high-level martial arts master in disguise. So Yian praises the older man for surviving so many brutal battles, surprising the veteran with his sharp perception. The man laughs it off, introducing himself as Wang Musheng. Yian politely introduces himself as a simple college student. Musheng hands over his personal contact card, promising to repay this debt in the future. Watching the vehicle depart, Yian remembers his own missing soldier father. He vows to grow strong enough through cultivation to uncover the truth. Suddenly, Liu Lingling steps out into the rain in that red dress. She asks if he will actually miss her when she leaves for France. Yian remembers her confession back on the mountain, pulling her close and playfully teasing her right on the spot. Bro, look at her face blushing redder than a tomato. Though deep down, Yian knows he has far bigger responsibilities ahead. Later that evening, back at his residence, Yian heads straight back to his spacious rented villa, immediately feeling the rich spiritual aura filling the air. Right on cue, his little mink pet comes running over to greet him, and Yian scoops up the little guy to check if he settled in fine. Summoning the universe pot right into his palm, he pulls out a fresh batch of spiritual berries gathered from Wuweng Mountain. Bro, look at the little dude's eyes literally glowing with pure hype. He starts inhaling those fruits like he hasn't eaten in 3 business days. With his pet fed, Yian locks in and sits down to meditate. His sea of consciousness erupts as legendary beast projections flex insane aura all around him, pushing his internal energy continuously straight through the night. He opens his glowing golden eyes after completing the wuxing induction technique. Now he just needs to consult Yunshinzai to unlock the next level. Even though Yian just made a fortune off his pills, he still wants a regular job to stay grounded. Hoping to secure a normal routine, he pulls up to the Zhao Group's Cultural Relics division. He walks inside with zero bad vibes, meeting HR manager Mei Yaosen. Mei immediately asks to see his degree and background. Yian lays out his top-tier college stats, but this arrogant suit and tie NPC cuts him off and starts yapping. He accuses Yian of being a fake, relying purely on connections, even claiming Yian's new startup is a total scam. Yian doesn't argue, straight up shattering the concrete wall next to his face. Bro's soul instantly leaves his body from pure terror, and Yian gives him an icy warning to watch his damn mouth. Mei Yaosen tries to talk big while sweating bullets, but getting physically cornered by Yian actually awakens something deeply bizarre inside him. Yian backs off immediately after seeing Bro blush. Thankfully, the little dog interrupts the weird moment, and Zhao Nan walks in looking so illegal my heart skipped 3 whole beats. And Yian instantly recognizes her as the girl from the park. And honestly, I can't even lie, bro. It's gonna be until her back gives out if she's out here looking like that. Zhao Nan smiles and tells him she could never forget the guy who saved her dog. But watching all this play out, the creepy HR manager Mei Yaosen starts sweating bullets, spiraling into the most unhinged delusion that Yian is about to steal his moment. Panicking out of his mind, this goofy clown decides he needs to assert dominance immediately, suddenly lunging forward and snatching Yian's hand like they are an official couple. At that exact moment, Yian realizes this woman is actually the big boss president of the entire company. Zhao Nan glances at their locked fingers, visibly confused as to what kind of bond these two share. So this absolute weirdo takes it a step further, loudly announcing that Yian came here specifically for a romantic date with him. Yian's jaw hits the floor as his entire life flashes before his eyes. Zhao Nan immediately apologizes for interrupting their romance and tries to back away as fast as possible. To make matters 10 times worse, the manager starts fake crying like a dramatic toxic ex, making Yian want to violently fold this dude into a pretzel on the spot. He desperately screams after Zhao Nan that he just came for a normal job interview. After clearing up the massive misunderstanding, Zhao Nan realizes Yian is the exact same guy who saved her dog. While the creepy manager keeps trying to whisper sweet nothings in his ear, Yian formally introduces himself for the relic's position. Bro, the artist definitely took a 20-minute break after drawing this panel. Yian shoves the weird manager away before he completely loses his mind. Suddenly, a knock at the door interrupts their chat. A suspicious janitor glares sinisterly from under his cap. He rolls a heavy trash cart straight into the room. Zhao Nan tells him to leave since she is busy, but this goofy clown refuses to move an inch. Then he pulls out a massive cleaver and goes full assassin mode. Just when this lunatic swings the giant blade, Yian casually catches it with 2 fingers like it's nothing. Bro left everyone in the room with their jaws stuck to the floor. Before this fake janitor can even process what happened, Yian launches a kick that embeds him straight into the wall. This clown starts coughing blood while whining about his gambling debts. Hearing the wall crumble, the secretary rushes inside, and Zhao Nan immediately orders her to call the police. Meanwhile, that arrogant HR manager is sweating bullets, praying Yian doesn't remember his disrespect. Yian turns to Zhao Nan to ask why this psycho came at her, and she reveals she fired all the lazy slackers and gamblers when taking over. Bro, look at her smiling. She could ruin my entire lineage, and I'd apologize for wasting her time. Yian offers to escort her home safely, in case the attacker had accomplices, and she happily agrees while offering to buy him dinner next time. Zhao Nan insists on buying him dinner first for saving her dog Wang Wang, and when they head down to the parking garage, Yian casually clicks his key fob, flexing his sleek luxury ride like it's no big deal. Zhao Nan is completely baffled, wondering how a broke wage worker from a month ago is suddenly bawling out, especially after seeing him catch a literal razor-sharp blade with 2 fingers. Bro, with a waist and figure like that, I am signing away my kidney without reading the contract. After that, Zhao Nan tells Yian he can drop her off right here, since he needs to head over to his graduation party, while Yian reflects on how crazy life is ending up as her subordinate. Just then, his smug classmate Yonglin shows up yapping about Yian's luck with women, so Yian offers him a ride. As Yian clicks his key fob, this goofy guy starts grinning internally. Assuming Yian is so broke, he sells vegetables on a tricycle. But then Yian honks from inside a sleek luxury supercar, leaving Yang Lin's jaw completely glued to the floor. Bro scrambles into the passenger seat, while coping hard that Yian must just be a driver. Soon, they arrive at the high-end Shanghai hotel for the banquet. Inside the private room, the party is already popping off, where this arrogant hater Cao Ren is busy flexing how he used his daddy's name to scare off thugs. All the side characters are laughing and sucking up to him, while Bro is just trying to get noticed by the top-tier school beauty Liu Lingling. Right on cue, Yian casually strolls into the room like he owns the place. And instantly, this clown Cao Ren loses his damn mind because his crush won't stop staring. Yian just laughs it off, apologizing for being a bit late. Suddenly, the whole room surrounds him, asking if he really owns that insane supercar. But Cao Ren starts coping out loud, telling everyone Yian is just a private driver. Bro is pointing fingers, laughing like a maniac and calling Yian a broke villager. Man really thought he just exposed our main guy in front of the whole class. Until Liu Lingling steps in looking top tier to defend him. She drops the ultimate truth bomb, leaving every single NPC completely paralyzed. She literally wraps her arms around Yian and announces he is her boyfriend. Look at Cao Ren's face. Man is literally crying, screaming, and throwing up right now. Yian whispers that she doesn't have to keep acting, but the entire room immediately shifts sides to start begging Yian for jobs and money. After wrapping up the wild reunion party, Yian walks outside with Lingling and offers to see her off. Bro, those are literally just planets attached to a body, goddamn. She reminds him that she's flying abroad tomorrow, but promises to return soon. Yian waves goodbye, wishing his favorite school beauty a safe journey. As her car rolls away into the night, she stares out the window, wondering if he'll miss her as much as she already misses him. And while driving through the city, Yian suddenly spots a familiar figure on the sidewalk. Standing near the curb looking completely panicked is none other than his university instructor. Teacher Aoyang Yuking stepped out looking sharp as hell in that white business suit and pencil skirt. Seeing her in distress, Yeon quietly activates his elemental spiritual magic to listen in. He senses her heavy anxiety and realizes someone is actively threatening her. She quickly jumps into a cab, telling the driver to take her straight to Yaosong Estate. Meanwhile, inside a filthy room filled with empty trash and cigarette butts, her deadbeat ex-husband Wang Ming sits on the couch, whining about her taking too long. Yuking bursts through the door, out of breath and desperate for answers. Without a shred of remorse, this arrogant bum immediately demands if she brought the cash. She grabs him by the shirt collar, demanding to know where her daughter Leal is hidden. This clown just spits in her direction and demands double the money to cover his gambling losses. She breaks down in tears, begging this absolute scum to give back her child after taking everything she owned. This absolute creep lays his gross hands on her from behind. Bro, the artist went crazy drawing teacher Yuking right here. She tries pushing this goofy clown away, but Wang Ming grabs her wrist and threatens to hide her daughter forever. He pins her down while she breaks down sobbing. Suddenly, the entire wall fucking explodes into dust. Yang Yeon drops in like a superhero to wreck this scumbag. Yuking can't believe her own student just broke through the brick wall. Yeon tells her to step back while he cooks this scrub, but she grabs him, desperately screaming at him not to kill him. Yeon is completely shocked. She's still trying to protect this trash, as she begs Yeon to just leave before things get worse. Even while sitting on the floor like a defeated dog, this loser is still running his mouth, so Yeon grabs him by the neck to give him a free ticket to sleep mode. Bro literally turns blue and foams at the mouth in 3 seconds flat. His teacher panics, thinking Yeon straight up caught a murder charge right in front of her. He reassures her that the loser just fainted from pure fear, and suggests they immediately call the cops to haul him away. Yeon remembers how kind she was to him back in university, when he was dead broke, but then she hits him with the ultimate trap question: why was he even outside her house? Scrambling to avoid sounding like a whole stalker, his brain fires on all cylinders, and he pulls a completely fake backstory out of his ass that she somehow fully buys. Right on cue, the authorities pull up to inspect the damage. She explains the whole situation, while Yeon stands there looking like a saint. The officer confirms it was pure self-defense and asks Yeon to come record a statement. And out of nowhere, his teacher jumps into his arms for a massive tight hug. Bro, I'd literally pay a monthly subscription just to be that hoodie. She leans in close, completely relieved that the whole nightmare is finally over. Before things get any steamier, the officer interrupts to remind her that her daughter Leal is waiting at the station. Meanwhile, the cute little girl is sitting back comfortably, munching on a lollipop without a single care in the world. And while driving through the city night, Yang Yeon asks his gorgeous teacher why she never reported her scumbag ex to the cops. Turns out her past was a total nightmare, forced into a bad marriage with a degenerate gambler who lost everything, and then used their daughter to blackmail her for cash after winning custody. Hearing this sad backstory, Yeon looks her dead in the eyes and promises to protect her forever, making her blush super hard, before he suddenly realizes his smooth line sounded way too much like an actual confession. Shortly after, they pull up to the police station, where teacher Aoyang finally spots her adorable little daughter Leal. She immediately squeezes the kid into a massive tight hug, and bro, the kid is literally suffocating in there. Yeon can barely keep his eyes off them, completely flustered by this chaotic maternal display. Little Leal reveals she snuck out and called the cops herself after hearing her deadbeat dad scheming on the phone. The officer confirms that the scum ex was tied to heavy drug trafficking, meaning he's going behind bars for a very long time. With her worst nightmare finally locked away, teacher Aoyang promises to cook a feast for her brave little girl. Teacher Aoyang invites Yeon over for a thank you dinner, and bro immediately daydreams about getting hand-fed. Little Leal bluntly asks if he's into her mom. Yeon chokes on his own spit in front of the cop. Yuking panics and muzzles her kid in total embarrassment. At the apartment, the kid hits him with an intense death stare. Then teacher Aoyang walks in wearing casual home clothes, making it impossible for Yeon to look away. Leal calls him out for staring at her mom's backside. Yeon spits out his food, begging her to ignore her child. Leal then asks if he's going to replace her deadbeat dad. She explains that since he saved her mom, she wants him as her new father. Even back at dinner, the kid keeps calling him daddy, and the trauma follows him all the way to his office job, making him hear toddler screams while staring at his computer. He tries to blame his mental breakdown on insomnia, until Zhao Nan offers to buy him dinner. Instantly recovering the second, a gorgeous woman offers free food. When they walk outside, a flashy red sports car is waiting, leaving both of them totally confused, until this arrogant clown steps out to hit on Zhao Nan. And as they step outside, two random guys in matching coats block their path right by the sports car. This red-haired goofy clown starts spouting cringy romantic lines, like he's the main character of a soap opera. But Yian straight up ignores his entire existence, casually asking Zhao Nan if she wants hot pot instead. When the two try to walk right past him, the bodyguard leaps out yelling at them to halt. Bro thinks he looks intimidating with that angry face, declaring that his young master demands respect. Zhao Nan explains these dudes are from the martial artsy family in Yanjing, telling Yian to just ignore them. The red-haired suitor gets instantly triggered and starts yapping about their arranged family marriage, telling her she has zero choice and needs to pack her bags to go back to Yanjing with him. Zhao Nan shuts him down cold, letting him know they will literally never happen. So Redhead loses his mind and threatens to take her away by force. He calls out his bodyguard Lao Mo, who instantly lunges forward with a claw attack to grab her. The old head's hand is literally inches away from her face, but Yian steps up like an absolute Chad, snatching the bodyguard's wrist midair while pulling Zhao Nan close. Redhead's fragile ego gets utterly shattered, ordering his henchmen to snap all of Yian's limbs. And Lao Mo powers up, launching a full-force palm strike straight at our boy. Yian counters Lao Mo's palm strike instantly, unleashing a massive surge of internal force that completely shocks the veteran bodyguard. Lao Mo skids backward across the asphalt, while Yian acts like he barely tried. Seeing his bodyguard pushed back, the red-haired suitor takes off his glasses, flashing an ugly villain grin while threatening to disfigure Yian. That trash talk sets our boy off. The arrogant clown orders his bodyguard to step aside so he can fight personally. Zhao Nan calls out an urgent warning about his technique, as the suitor lunges forward at insane speed with his wind cloud fist. Their strikes collide in a loud shockwave, and Yian counters head-on with his rising arm ape fist. The red-haired suitor realizes he messed with the wrong guy, struggling to push back as Yian overpowers him. He forces a desperate burst of rage, backing off while trying to process Yian's insane internal power. But Yian isn't giving him a second to breathe. Closing the gap in a flash, he lands a brutal punch right to his smug face, leaving Lao Mo and Zhao Nan utterly speechless. Yian blasts the arrogant clown across the plaza, smashing him straight into his own sports car. Even while coughing blood, Bro is still yapping about revenge like he didn't just get cooked. Yang Yian gives them a look of pure disgust, reminding these clowns that society actually has laws, as the bloody red-haired suitor gets dragged away while still yapping empty threats. Realizing there are ancient martial artists hidden on Earth, Yian knows he needs to lock in and reach the second layer of Kai condensation immediately. So while Yang Yian sits in deep meditation trying to level up his aura, his ancient master Yunchen Zai starts floating on a boat yapping about real cultivators. Bro flexes how he used to dominate entire dynasties back in the day, bragging that a single thought from him could slaughter actual gods. But Yian just stares at him deadpan, because Bro is literally a homeless soul trapped inside a pot. Realizing he basically just roasted a homeless ghost god, Yian quickly apologizes. Yunchen Zai immediately snaps back and promises to drop some ancient knowledge. He tells Yian to combine 500-year-old ginseng with a giant python gall to break through his bottleneck. Yian is confused where the snake gall is, but Master explains the universe pot auto-loots nearby treasures like a vacuum. He advises him to find an alchemy furnace so he can cook up high-tier pills. Everything finally clicks for Yian on why his rare herbs kept disappearing into thin air. After telling Yian not to bother him with petty mortal problems anymore, Yunchen Zai vanishes into thin air, leaving behind a mysterious floating skill manual. Yian opens it up to reveal the True Aspect Blaze technique, ready to kickstart his power upgrade. This True Aspect Blaze spell lets him channel actual spiritual fire straight from his fingertips. It can even vaporize enemies instantly, without leaving behind a single trace of evidence. But before testing his new firepower, Yian decides to focus on breaking through his cultivation level first. He summons the preserved python gall and 1000-year ginseng out from the universe pot. But hold up, why does this ginseng have a whole blushing dude's face on it? Bro is looking at this root in pure horror like, Why is it staring right back at me? The artist was definitely having way too much fun, drawing this weirdly seductive vegetable. Traumatized but desperate for power, Yian closes his eyes and gulps it down whole. The horrifyingly sour and sickening taste hits him immediately, making his whole soul want to gag. But right after, the raw medicinal energy violently surges straight through his meridians. With an explosive burst of golden aura, he officially breaks through to Kai Condensation Layer 2. He flexes his new spiritual power, feeling his entire body overflowing with insane strength. Right as he finishes, his phone buzzes to remind him about tonight's dinner with Wang Musheng. Yian calls up his buddy Liu Ziki for dinner, but bro claims he is way too busy working on wine production. So Yian casually drops that a high-ranking military veteran is attending, and instantly, his old soldier instincts kick in to accept. At the luxury hotel, Wang Musheng is getting cozy with his wife, right as Yian strolls inside bringing his guest along. Wang Musheng warmly welcomes them to grab a seat at the table, curious about the sharp guy standing right beside Yian. Without warning, Liu Ziki snaps into a crisp military salute, leaving Yian completely stunned by his wild energy. And Liu Ziki immediately stands at attention, saluting Uncle Wang like a loyal fan. Uncle Wang just laughs it off and warmly tells him to take a seat. Yian joins the table, amazed by how welcoming this powerful family is. Curious about his background, Uncle Wang asks Yian where his hometown is. Yian reveals that his father, Yang Guozhang, was a soldier who went missing a decade ago. The moment that name drops, Uncle Wang bolts upright in absolute shock. The entire room freezes as the mood instantly shifts. With a serious look, Uncle Wang reaches into his pocket, pulling out a photo to ask if this is Yian's father. Except bro accidentally pulled out a picture of his wife in full Catgirl cosplay. Aunt Lai delivers a swift backhand right across his jaw out of sheer humiliation. Clearing his throat, Uncle Wang desperately tries to salvage whatever aura he has left. He hands over the actual photo, revealing Yian's dad in his military days. Yian stares in shock, recognizing the exact same picture from his childhood. Uncle Wang's face darkens as he explains they were brothers in arms, surviving deadly frontier missions side by side back in the day. Uncle Wang reveals how Yian's dad selflessly drew enemy fire to save the whole squad, only to vanish without a trace during a sudden desert sandstorm. Deeply indebted to his old comrade, Uncle Wang swears to back Yian up no matter what. Aunt Lai chimes in, asking if he is facing any trouble with his current business. Yian explains that his new company is facing massive approval roadblocks for their Gaiyuan wine. Both of them gasp in shock, recognizing the legendary drink instantly. Uncle Wang vows to personally handle whoever is blocking the permit, while Aunt Lai casually leaks that the wine made Uncle Wang break 2 beds in one night. Before Yian can process that wild overshare, his phone suddenly dings with a message. An anonymous text orders him to meet at a luxury bar if he wants his approval fixed. Yian smirks, realizing the coward behind the blockage is finally showing his face. At the bar, he meets Ma Xiaoliu, a smug young master lounging like he owns the joint. This clown immediately demands Yian name a price and surrender his secret formula. So Yian casually slaps a price tag of 1 billion yuan on his recipe, which instantly sends Ma Xiaoliu into a petty rage, ordering his bodyguards to jump him. Yian senses their aura and realizes these 2 goons are actually high-level martial artists, so they charge in flexing like they are about to pull off an epic beatdown. Fast forward 2 seconds, and Yian is literally using them as a human couch after folding them effortlessly. Realizing he is totally cooked, Ma Xiaoliu tries to play dirty by threatening Yian's family back home. Big mistake, because Yian instantly manifests demonic aura dark enough to end a bloodline. He grabs the arrogant young master by the neck, while the guy cries snot and tears like a baby, promising to burn the entire Ma clan to ashes if he so much as looks at his sister again. Meanwhile, deep inside a quiet traditional courtyard, the old Ma family elder sits around looking stern, while his beat-up grandson whimpers about getting totally cooked. The old man just stares at him like he's absolute trash, wondering how a trained fighter got folded by a random guy. He realizes Yian must have unlocked advanced dark energy, but the swollen-faced brat begs his grandfather to wipe Yian out anyway. The elder instantly shuts him down, explaining that Yian's military backer holds insane political power. Hearing this, the bruised clown gets a diabolical idea. realizing they can destroy Yian quietly without starting an open war. Sensing an assassin lurking up in the wooden rafters, the old man summons a deadly operative from the Bone Flower organization, who promises that as long as the money is right, Yian won't survive. Meanwhile, Yian takes a quick drive back to his hometown, checking his phone to see Uncle Wang already got his wine business unblocked. He cruises straight down the highway into Gu County, stepping out of his ride to check out his old stomping grounds. As he walks past the newly renovated modern storefronts, a ridiculously stacked local girl named Kui Hua aggressively tries pulling him into her parlor. When he tries to politely decline, she instantly locks her claw fingers onto his acupoints. Yian immediately recognizes her specialized martial arts pressure point technique, so he grabs her wrist and counters her pressure point directly, making her fold on the spot. Gasping from the reversal, she reveals her martial leader taught her the move. Right then, Seventh Master himself steps outside clad in full traditional red robes, saluting Yian respectfully and apologizing for his disciple's pushy behavior. Yian introduces himself calmly, ready to state his official business. Seventh Master suddenly recognizes Yian as the mastermind behind the famous element honing pill. Before Yian can even play dumb, the old man lashes out with a whip sneak attack, but Yian catches it instantly barehanded. The old guy tries to play it off like he was just asking for a quick lesson, so Yian immediately counters with a heavy blow of his own. Master Chen tries to sweep his legs with the weapon, but Yian stomps his foot down, shattering the stone pavement effortlessly. Realizing his light energy whip can't even budge Yian's stance, the old man starts sweating bullets, realizing Yian has already reached dark energy level. Knowing he's completely outclassed, Chen Qibian immediately bows and admits defeat. Yian turns around to go handle his original duties, but the old master straight up begs Yian to take him as a disciple, right on the spot. So Yian coolly breaks down the old master's whip technique, pointing out that his internal force is lacking, because his family lost half their manual long ago. Realizing this dude isn't evil, Yian decides it wouldn't hurt to bring him under his wing. Chen Qibian immediately drops to his knees, begging for guidance after being stuck at a bottleneck for 10 whole years. Yian just shrugs and casually agrees like it's no big deal, leaving the old master completely flabbergasted by his casual flex. However, Yian mentions there's one catch, making Chen Qibian sweat bullets, thinking he's about to be forced into a demon contract. Instead, Yian simply asks him to protect his family from the Ma clan, promising a full martial arts technique in return. Moved to tears by his honor, Chen Qibian swears complete loyalty, agreeing to meet at the Yang family courtyard in 3 days. Yian finally arrives back in his home village, greeting the local neighbors as he walks down the street. His sweet old grandma walks out to welcome him home, and Yian is genuinely thrilled to see her. She holds his hands with absolute warmth, but Yian immediately notices her severe leg arthritis acting up. He vows to use his alchemy to craft healing pills for his family tomorrow. Grandma mentions his younger sister Shanshan passed her entrance exams, so Yian barges straight into her bedroom without knocking. Shanshan is casually modeling fit checks like an absolute runway icon, before panicking and slamming the door right in his face. Grandma calls them both down for a warm home-cooked meal, where they eat together while discussing plans to visit the family graves. Grandma insists on heading up into the mountains to pray for her missing son, holding on to hope after all these years that he is still alive somewhere. As the family hikes up the scenic mountain path toward the temple, Yian drops a major bomb by offering to move everyone to a new house in the ancient capital. Shanshan instantly double-checks if he got rich legally, but he assures her his business is totally legit. Grandma hesitates to abandon her farmland and quiet village lifestyle, so Yian promises to bring her back to visit whenever she misses home. But as they reach the temple entrance, his hand mark suddenly flares up, warning him that a massive surge of spiritual energy is hidden right inside. And Yian tells his sister and grandma to head on ahead without him, following a strange green spiritual pulse guiding him behind the temple. The energy signal leads him straight to a buried spot in the dirt, and as he reaches down to unearth whatever treasure is hidden here, his ghost master Yunshin Zai jump scares him so hard his soul almost leaves his body. Bro almost folded right on the spot, but the old master explains that Earth used to have a real cultivation civilization. In fact, this artifact underground is an ancient immortal furnace that cultivators would literally wage war over. Hearing that, Yian channels his inner energy and rips the treasure out of the ground. After dropping 20,000 yuan into the temple donation box and heading back home with his family, he pulls out the ancient furnace to officially claim it as his own. Following his master's instructions, he pricks his finger to sacrifice a drop of blood, igniting the true aspect blaze to unlock the furnace's ultimate potential. As soon as his blood touches the ancient relic, it instantly transforms into the legendary Taisheng pill furnace. Realizing he just scored an absolute holy grail of alchemy, Yian sits down without wasting a single second. He checks the recipe for the lucky longevity pill to help his grandma, throwing his premium ginseng right into the blazing flames. The furnace instantly extracts the pure spirit essence, popping out high-quality top-tier pills like candy. To check for side effects, he pops one into his mouth, immediately channeling the insane wave of spiritual energy through his body. But as the pill purges all impurities, he starts sweating out a toxic biohazard stench. Right on cue, his sister Shanshan busts into the room gagging from the smell, instantly assuming her brother was doing something foul and dirty in secret. To avoid any more wild misunderstandings, Yian grabs his bath gear and heads toward the mountain lake to wash off the biohazard stench. On his way up, he runs into a mysterious local girl, who immediately pulls her collar and insists on washing his back. "Bro, how is a random mountain girl out here looking like she belongs on a fashion runway?" Yian tries to play it smooth and politely declines, saying he already has a sweetheart. That was a huge mistake. The girl instantly goes demon mode and lunges straight for his throat. But Yian instantly counters her grab and slams the psycho girl into the dirt, but she recovers instantly and throws a thick cloud of poison dust right into his face. Coughing inside the pink haze, Yian tries to figure out who sent her, and out steps elder sister Rakshasa rocking a side-slit outfit that should literally be illegal. Turns out her secret poison doesn't kill you, it inflates your lower half like an actual elephant. Bro is panicking out of his mind, wondering who even crafts a drug this diabolical. She demands the secret pill recipe right now, or threatens to torture him to death. Look at this clown talking massive trash like she didn't just rely on a cheap gimmick. So Yian casually snatches a massive wooden branch from the tree and decides class is in session. She lunges straight at him with twin daggers, expecting an easy win, only for Yian to slam his wooden rod down with enough force to obliterate the entire hill. Flexing absolute dark energy aura, he forces this hitwoman to drop to her knees and surrender instantly. Yian tells her it is way too late to beg for mercy now, but this hitwoman pulls out a sneaky smoke bomb to reset the fight. A wave of toxic red mist covers the entire area, immediately blinding Yian. Posing arrogantly, she tells him to give up the recipe before things get worse. Yian realizes this isn't just some random thug, but a real trained killer. But then she makes the biggest mistake of her life by threatening his sister and grandmother. Yian erupts into a blinding golden aura, completely enraged. Seeing his insane power burst, she decides to hide in the dark to attack from behind. Yian stands completely still, closing his eyes to track her movement. A tiny wild rabbit hops out from the bushes, and this sneaky assassin actually steps in sync with the rabbit to mask her footsteps. She lunges for his neck from behind, thinking she caught him completely off guard. But Yian doesn't even flinch, because her bloodlust is leaking like a broken pipe. He spins around instantly and blasts her point blank with a scorching fire spell. She gets completely engulfed in flames, screaming in agony as she gets cooked on the spot. The flame consumes her instantly, leaving nothing behind. Yian sits down immediately to meditate and purge the poison. Blasting high-level fire spells completely drained his energy. He picks up her dagger, standing firm on protecting his family, until the leftover toxic mist suddenly makes his stomach turn. He stumbles over to Fairy Lake and senses someone nearby. "Bro, I am surrendering all my earthly possessions on the spot. Zero resistance." She stands there wrapped in a single towel, while Yian hides behind a tree, wondering why his childhood sister Jinfeng is back in town. The artist definitely took a 20-minute break after drawing this panel, making Yian battle his own morality so hard he almost breaks. Even his inner consciousness is just two little devils telling him to take a peek. Deciding to be a true gentleman, he turns around and heads to a different part of the lake. He strips down and dives right into the refreshing water to cool off. Floating on his back, he fondly remembers how they used to swim in Fairy Lake as kids. Suddenly, a massive surge of water ripples right beneath him. He looks down expecting a normal fish, only to lock eyes with a giant golden Asian arowana swimming under him. Activating his universal good fortune breath-holding technique, he dives into the crystal-clear depths to follow it, discovering a hidden underwater trench deep inside Fairy Lake. Following the fish down into the deep, Yian notices a strange glow at the bottom, revealing the gigantic skeleton of a mythical dragon resting on the lakebed. Yunshin Zai pops out from the pot, instantly sensing a terrifying demonic aura, and recognizes the remains of an 8 tribulations flood dragon. He explains that an entity surviving 8 tribulations is almost stronger than a true dragon, pointing out the priceless dragon grass nearby that took over 6,000 years to grow. Yian starts pondering what kind of insane god could slay a dragon like this, until he realizes he forgot to breathe and is literally about to pass out. Meanwhile, Jin Feng is enjoying a serene private bath on her side of the lake, when Yian suddenly erupts out of the water right in front of her like a swamp creature. Only then does he realize the underwater trench connected both pools the whole time. Yian scoops up the unconscious Jin Feng and lays her down on dry land to revive her. He channels his spiritual energy into her wrist to wake her up, and she opens her eyes, totally confused about what just happened. Yian tries acting like a smooth hero, but Jin Feng completely flusters up and tells him to back off because she's saving herself for her future husband. Just as Yian starts hitting an inner anime protagonist monologue in his head, his sister Shanshan spawns out of nowhere and lands a world-class slap straight across his face for being a total pervert. The next day, Jin Feng drops by for dinner looking absurdly fine, and Grandma mentions how long it's been since she last visited. Meanwhile, Shanshan is still dizzy after realizing she totally misjudged her brother. Grandma stares at the fish, amazed that this rare arowana came from Fairy Lake. Yian just flexes like it was an everyday casual catch. But the second everyone takes a bite, they literally transcend to another realm. Little do they know, Yian secretly infused the broth with his longevity pill. He then asks Jin Feng why she randomly returned to the village. She admits her mother's leg illness worsened, and doctors mentioned amputation. Hearing that, Yian immediately offers to step in and examine her. When they arrive, Aunt Wang is sitting in her wheelchair. Yian uses his divine vision and spots severe muscle necrosis in her legs. Fortunately, his master's medical manual has an exact acupuncture cure for this. He presents a cooked arowana dish as a nourishing gift to speed up her recovery. Jin Feng manages to convince her mom to accept the gift, when suddenly, the county's top specialist arrives at the house. Dr. Sun stomps in complaining about how remote the village is, demanding to inspect the patient right away. He takes one look at Yian holding a cooked fish and plugs his nose like an arrogant snob. After quickly glancing over Aunt Wang's medical reports, he blurted out that amputation is the only choice to save her life. When Jin Feng begs for another option, Bro flexes that if he can't fix it, nobody in Huaxia can. That's when Yian steps forward and asks if he can give it a shot. The doctor scoffs, telling him amateurs should stay out of medical business, but Yian guarantees a full recovery in 1 month. Jin Feng looks at Yian with complete faith, promising to do whatever he asks if he cures her mom, while Dr. Sun smugly bets that he'll drop to his knees and call Yian daddy if this actually works. Jin Feng turns bright red, completely flustered after her mom basically offered her off on a silver platter. But Yian keeps his cool, whipping out glowing silver needles to perform his godly yin-yang technique. Dr. Sun instantly starts yapping like a madman, claiming it's medically impossible to restore dead nerves with acupuncture. Except Yian finishes in a flash, and Aunt Wang's eyes go wide as actual feeling surges back into her legs, leaving this goofy clown looking absolutely cooked, realizing his whole medical degree just got utterly invalidated. While Yian casually explains that he already cleared her mom's meridians, leaving Dr. Sun standing there with his mouth wide open, before his knees completely give out, and he literally drops to the floor to bow before a true medical god. After wrapping up, Yian steps outside into the cool night air with Jin Feng, who starts thanking him with the sweetest look in her eyes. She gets all emotional, wondering why he would even bother helping someone with her bad luck, so Yian just laughs it off like it's nothing. Then this smooth guy playfully asks if she wants to go skinny dipping in Fairy Lake together, sprinting away before she can slap him into next week. Yo, look at her blushing like that. Bro, I had to double check if my door was locked before I kept riding. Unbeknownst to them, some creepy pair of glowing eyes is lurking in the dark window. Back in his room, Yian locks in and meditates all night, absorbing massive amounts of golden kai, until the rooster screams at sunrise, signaling a brand new day. So Seventh Master rolls into the room bright and early, ready for Yian to give him that promised cultivation guidance. Seeing Yian flex his glowing golden energy, the old man instantly drops to his knees to kowtow. Yian tells him to chill on the dramatic bowing, and casually orders him to strip naked and pop a pill. Bro looks completely horrified for a second, but decides to trust the process anyway. Yian clarifies he's just transmitting internal force into his back, and immediately starts blasting pure energy into his veins. The surge of power forcefully shatters his martial bottleneck, allowing him to channel intense, dark energy throughout his body. Old man opens his eyes fully unlocked to the first layer of dark energy. But right as the energy beam shoots into the night sky, a sinister blade-wielding assassin catches the scent. Yian senses the deadly aura approaching, so they head outside to the Shangyang village grove, where the dark warrior steps out ready for a showdown. This arrogant assassin demands they hand over the pill or die, so Seventh Master lashes out with full force, only to get countered instantly and blasted back spitting blood. He warns Yian that this monster is a fourth-layer dark energy master, as the assassin drops right down to finish the job. And right as the dust settles, a terrifying new threat appears, wielding a deadly whip and flexing fourth-layer dark energy. Seventh Master screams in panic that this freak is Ziyu Asura, and Yian notices he rocks the exact same drip as that female assassin from earlier. Before Seventh Master can even pull back, Asura swoops in to execute him on the spot. But Yian parries the blade just in time, taunting that he put his sister in the ground himself. Bro immediately loses his mind, red eyes glowing with pure demonic rage. Yian throws a dagger to distract him and bolts straight for the forest, while Asura roars that he is going to turn him into paste. Seventh Master watches in total shock, as Yian deliberately lures the monster away from the village. Yian sprints deep into the woods, hoping to create a safe buffer zone, but Asura catches up instantly and lands a brutal kick straight to his jaw. Yian barely blocks the follow-up blow as energy shockwaves blow apart the trees. Looking at this psycho glaring down at him, Yian realizes this guy's fourth-layer dark energy is on a whole different level. Asura starts yapping about how Yian has zero actual combat skill, so Yian intentionally taunts him by bringing up how he vaporized his sister. The assassin completely loses his mind in rage and lunges straight into the bait. Yian immediately unleashes a point-blank flame blast right at his chest, but Asura pulls off an insane backflip in midair and dodges the fire clean. Yian realizes this guy is way sharper and more dangerous than Rakshasa ever was. Taking cover behind a tree, Asura admits he underestimated Yian's fire skills. Knowing normal attacks won't hit, Yian prepares to use his ultimate trump card. Asura pretends to negotiate, asking for the 5-element honing pill in exchange for peace. Yian hits him with a taunt and tells him to come take it. Asura charges full speed, admitting he was lying about letting Yian live, and hurls hidden razor discs through the air. Yian gets caught off guard and takes a devastating double slash straight across his chest. As rain pours over the woods, Seventh Master hurries toward the battle to find them. Seventh Master comes sprinting into the clearing, only to freeze in terror when he spots a horrifying shadowy figure radiating pure bloodlust. Turns out Yian completely tapped into his demonic power, casually letting the old man know that the assassin was already erased from existence, while Chen Kibian is literally bent over in sheer agony, suffocating from the overwhelming spiritual pressure radiating off Yian. Yian gives him a completely confused look and asks why he's bleeding out, instead of popping the miraculous healing pills he handed him earlier. When Yian threatens to take the pills back if he refuses to use them, Chen instantly swallows one whole and meditates as dark energy heals his body. Yian casually flexes that if Chen stays loyal, top-tier medicinal pills are basically unlimited. Completely awestruck, Chen drops to his knee and swears his life to protecting Yian's family. Curious, Chen asks how Yian managed to defeat the notorious dark assassin Ziyu Asura. Yian admits he caught Asura slipping by pulling a secret sword directly out of his universe pot. With the assassin dead, Yian asks Chen to use his regional influence to turn Shangyang village into a booming tourist spot. Chen stands there completely glazed out, convinced Yian is playing 5-dimensional chess to build a secret army. Bro starts monologuing about expanding their martial arts faction, while Yian just nods along, realizing the local spirit energy is actually insane. Chen worries that building a tourist empire will cost a fortune, so Yian casually pulls out his phone to flex his bank balance. Seeing all those zeros, Chen literally drops to his knees in complete shock. He promises to bring his family's construction crew to start right away, swearing to carry out Yian's vision without missing a single detail. As Chen takes off, Yian stares into the clouds, low-key daydreaming about his stunning boss, Zhao Nan. Meanwhile, deep inside the Helong mountain range, a curious little spirit mink peeks out from behind a tree, watching tiny forest creatures pass by while drooling over a sweet scent in the air. That greedy little minklet was drooling over the pure spiritual energy. And 3 days later, back at Yian's mansion, his master reveals the pet slipped into a spatial rift inside the toilet. He orders Yian to dive in after it, but Yian swears he's never diving headfirst into a toilet bowl. His master gives zero fucks and shoves him straight into the swirl, sending him hurtling through spatial plumbing. He spots the mink sitting cross-legged like a cursed meditating monk, making him lose his damn mind over the absurdity, before finally landing inside the breathtaking world of the universe pot.